Hey everybody, it's Paul Ramsey and I'm joined by Beth Keil, who is presenting a 1-hour seminar at the 2017 NGH convention. And the title is Failing Need Not Equal Failure. If you haven't failed, then you haven't reached far enough. I like that title. How are you, Beth?
I'm doing great. How about you?
Good. Hey, so first I want to learn about you because we haven't met before and you've seen these interviews. You know how it goes. I want you to tell me all about how you got into hypnotism. Tell me your story.
I'm three generations of hypnotists. My mother,
What?
myself, and yeah, I know. My mother certified as a hypnotist when I was in high school, and she stopped smoking that way. And I had really bad migraines that she helped me with. But she didn't do a very good pre-talk because she didn't tell me you're supposed to hear everything that's said and remember as much as you want. I thought it was progressive relaxation. I could repeat what she said to me like 20 years later. And so then move up, I'm a registered nurse as well, and I was working at a birth center in Wilmington, Delaware, where I lived at the time. And somebody there was teaching hypnobirthing, Marie Mongan's method. And so I took the course, loved it, and I just loved it. And it said you could only teach the curriculum, not more than that. And I went, oh, I want to do more. And so I certified with Cal Banyan in, I guess, 2002, November 2002. And so that's how I got started. And then my oldest son, when he was 18, certified in 5-path as well. Yeah,
Nice.
it's really cool.
That is cool. I'll tell you, I hear a lot of different stories and there's some similar themes that run through them, but that's the first time I've heard about 3 generations all in the business like that. That's pretty cool. Very nice.
It is.
So of all the things that so you've been into this for years now, of all the things you could have chose to talk about at convention, why'd you choose this topic? Why failure?
Because there's a lot of fear around failing. And because of that fear, people don't go further. They get stopped. And we need a world where people are going forward and being everything that they are. So it's like taking the F word, out of the closet.
I like that.
I'm not sure they wanted to put that into the course description, but it's time to get the F word out of the closet so that we can really start talking about it. Because what happens is that people will look at failure and they will translate it as they are a failure. And when we personalize it, we stop everything because we're going to start being protective of ourselves in whatever way that shows up for us. And the fact is that failure is really about mistakes happening. And it's not always mistakes we make. Things happen. And how do we take that sting out where we can start inviting failure to be a friend? And to really use it for what it's there to do. It's there to help us clarify what it is that we are, what we're up to, what we want to do. It also lets us put aside things that aren't working when we really embrace it. And really, I think another part is having a good sense of humor about it, going, yep, failed again. What's next? And what did you learn? Because if we're scared of failing, we're not going to learn anything because we're going to close the door on those failures. And then we have to repeat it again and again. And that could be fun. I don't think it is. So for me, that's why I wanted to do about failure and embrace it. Like, how can we embrace it for learning and make mistakes?
So this is one of the things I love about convention, and this theme has come up a few times in the interviews that I've done as well, is that you can go to the convention and you can really be focused on how do you acquire new skills, new scripts, new techniques to make you a better hypnotist, right? And you can be totally laser focused if you want on how to—
Hold on 1 second. I'm really sorry. I put this down on—
Are you all right?
Sorry. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Do you get to cut? You edit?
Not really. So we're just going to move on.
Well, folks, guess what? This is what happens. What a wonderful way. This was a failure, right? All of a sudden, I thought I turned off the phone, that it was silent, and I hear, leave a message. And if you saw my eyes go like this, it's because, what? What the failure is going on here? And somebody left a message, which I hung up on them. So you'll figure it out. So I love it. I mean, again, I could get really upset and flustered about it. And again, this is the whole thing.
Yeah.
How do you move with it? Okay, so I've got it. I think I've turned this off all the way. Let's Bass, the volume's all the way down. Come
That
on,
is
I think.
perfect. That
Whatever
is
way.
great.
Okay, it should be off.
Good for you. Cool.
Welcome to failing and having fun. So go ahead. You were saying.
So all I
Couldn't
was
be
going to say
better.
is, all I was going to say is there's like these two different tracks. There's many different, but one way I organize my thoughts about the convention is you can go to a session to really be focused on how you acquire skills that make you better as a hypnotist for like the results you get with clients. But you can also go to sessions to really be focused on how you increase your personal skills and your personal resources so that your life just gets better. Right. And I think that
Right.
when you do that, of course, then you can take what you learn that makes yourself better and you can apply it with your clients as well. And I feel like you're a prime example of that. Like what you're doing is going to provide people with a chance to go in and increase their skill set about how they deal with failure. And I think the biggest thing that's keeping people from opening their practice, right, and taking all these conventions they've been to and all these certifications they have is that fear that they're going to fail at it. And so what a great session to be able to go to and spend time with you and change the way they think about failure so that maybe they get out there and they start their first practice, or they go from part-time to full-time and they do it better because of what they learn from spending this time with you. I just love that. I think it's great. Does that make sense?
Exactly. It does. Well, I was just thinking, I'm also a registered nurse, and a big failure day for me is I needed to learn how to do IVs. So I'm with the IV team, and people, I'm sorry, this is not sorry, but this is what happens in hospitals. People have to learn, and sometimes you're the person they learn it on. So there were people who were coming in for outpatient surgery, and I'm going to start their IV. Well, the first person I do, my adrenaline, I knew nothing about hypnosis. My adrenaline kicked in. So what happens? Fine motor coordination's getting very shaky. And so that's what I'm doing as I'm starting this IV for this woman. And so I'm really good with people. So I said, you know what? And it wasn't true, but this was a long time ago. I said, I had 2 cups of caffeinated coffee and didn't have time to eat. So I'm really getting hit by the caffeine. So what does she say? Oh, I completely understand. So I'm going like this and she's thinking caffeine. I'm thinking, oh my God. So I didn't get any IVs done that day, but when I was done, I was very, very good at starting IVs. So yeah, I agree. I think that's the other part, what I'm hearing you say, and I agree. Results of our clients, and we're really not turning the table on ourselves of if we're asking people to change, then why aren't we? If we have people who are coming to see us because there's fears underneath all of this, and we're not addressing our own, there's a dissonance about that. And as we walk the talk, and it means that we're going to fail. It means we're going to fall down. It means we're going to learn. And we can also create a lot more empathy for the people that we work with. And that shows up I feel that it shows up for me when I'm working with clients.
Yeah, absolutely. Very cool. Well, listen, I think that was so great the way you shared that, and it's covered it wonderfully. And so I think like this is it. Like people either connect and they have a sense of like, this is something I need to work on. And so I should go spend time with Beth, or they can choose to say, well, I think I'm okay, and they can go elsewhere. But you've given them the wonderful angle on how to think about this. And so the last thing I want to do is I want to give you a chance. If people have really connected with this and they want to look more into you and learn more about you, what's a good way for them to learn more about you?
Best way is to go to my website. It's bethkeil.com. That's BETHKEIL.com. I'm also on Facebook under that, and you can see the blogs that are on my website, so you can learn more. You can also email me at Beth@BethKeil. Remember, it's KEIL.com. I'm going to be very happy to answer your questions. So I hope you'll come and fail with me at the convention this year.
You're so good. What a great attitude to have about this. And this is how you're going to help people, because you have that great perspective. That's wonderful. All right, you guys, remember August 11th, that's Friday, the first day of the convention, 3 p.m. Failing need not equal failure. If you haven't failed, then you haven't reached far enough. Thank you for making this time for me, Beth. We'll see you in August.
Thank you. Take care. Bye.